Adam, Lincoln this weekend, a run of games leading into this with defeats. So how do you go about this game?
Yeah, I think we've obviously had a couple of defeats, but against teams that we knew were going to be a massive challenge, and every game in this league obviously is a challenge, but then the important thing is when we're playing teams that are in and around us in the table that we're getting the job done this season. I think the progress we've made as a club, both on and off the pitch over the last sort of 6 months, has put us in a really good stead to be going into these games with confidence. So we're looking forward to the fixture. We're not taking anything for granted. Lincoln will be coming to get a result as well and sort of kickstart their season. So we'll have to be at our best, but looking forward to the next few games.
Despite the table, Lincoln was a team that you lost against last season. So how important is it that, like the teams that you've played already this season, that you've shown that progression and you carry on progressing?
Yeah, exactly that. I think, just agree with what you've said really. The important piece is to show progression. So those defeats that we had against Lincoln, obviously opening game of the season last year away, which was a massive, almost a bit of a culture shock, I think, in terms of that step up to this league and a rude awakening to the level. And then the game at Meadow Lane, which we competed in for good parts of the game, but sort of game got away from us in the second half, which was frustrating. So yeah, we'll be looking to show progress, looking to show the improvements we've made in the playing staff in terms of the support we've got around the club, which are supporting us to get better results. So yeah, looking forward to showing that progress at the weekend, and hopefully that comes in the way of a positive result for us.
And it's back to the league after FA Cup action last week. So just what's the squad looking like ahead of the game?
Yeah, really good. We're in a really fortunate position where we've got players sort of fighting back to fitness. A couple of players getting good minutes. Naya sort of came back with a start in the FA Cup and got a good solid minutes under her belt, which she's needed to sort of get back up to match sharpness. So that helps us with our forward options and that sort of squad depth coming back to full strength, which is really, really good. So heading into the weekend with some real tough headaches in terms of a selection piece, but that's something you obviously want as a staff. You want to make sure that you're having really deep conversations about who should play, and ultimately that means some really good players are going to miss out, but that's where we need to be as a club if we want to be competitive in this division.
And one player you mentioned there, Nia Chambers, who played a couple games in pre-season, picked up an injury, looked to get back to fitness, picked up another injury. How good was it just to have her back on the pitch?
Yeah, it's massive. Like, we know Nia gives us something very different, and I think we've probably spoken before about this season having a diverse range of forwards that can do different roles, which is fantastic. It allows us to play in slightly different ways against different oppositions, and Nia can hold the ball up incredibly well. We saw that in spells against Kelso where she can play back to goal, she's combative, she uses her body and her strength really, really well, and then can stretch the pitch for us. So her getting those really important minutes, like I said, to build back that match sharpness and sort of get the physical load into her legs in terms of match realistic distances was really important. So having come through that and not had a bad reaction and then a good week of training, she puts herself in a good position now to be competing with the rest of the forwards, which is exactly what we want. So really, really positive.